What's up, everybody? Hey, thank you guys for joining today's podcast. Today's podcast episode, What a Minority Must Do. So this one is about basically how a minority kind of makes it in this world today, especially in the United States of America, in this country. So I would just kind of speak from my perspective in a sense, and then kind of like a Southern living style perspective in a sense as well. Oh, excuse me. Living as a minority in the South can kind of be a two-edged sword in a sense because um, you may or may not experience blatant racism, and then you may or may not experience implicit racism as well. And so it's really hard to kind of determine how well you're being perceived and how your actions are being taken into account when you're around people of power and people who have money as well and who have a little bit of authority over you in a certain sense. So it's like you're kind of, for me, I never really looked for it per se. I've kind of just gone about my own way to kind of live my life and kind of do the things that I need to do to make it by in the way that I've made it by into the world that I'm living in currently. But at the same time, I know other people they take a a lot bigger look at it, and they kind of seek out those moments in a sense to make sure they're checking people and letting people know that they're not here for it and that they're gonna stand up against it or whatnot. And I honestly applaud those people because it's honestly really shocking to me hearing the stories of my friends tell them about different things that happened at their old high school or just different things that they've had happen to them growing up or whatnot. And I always tell people how my experiences have been kind of different. And I just feel like I've been blessed enough in that right. But I know that sometime down the road, or maybe it has happened while I've been in college, I've probably gotten a few of those things happen to me, but I just haven't recognized it, I guess, or took enough account of it into a certain sense for me to be able to register it and be like, oh, okay, this is happening to me as well. Because, I mean, everybody knows, along with racism, colorism plays a big part of it as well. And when you're a lighter skin tone, especially being a black person, you just seem to have it easier in life. It doesn't always happen that way, but you just seem to have it easier in life. And I mean, for me, I wouldn't say I've had it easy at all necessarily, because if I was to break down my whole life story, you'd probably point out a few different things. But at the same time, I work my butt off for everything that I've done. I try my best to be the best human being that I can be, and as good as a person to each and every person that I've ever met or came across in school and Boy Scouts, in church or anything of that nature, man. Like, I've tried my hardest, and as long along the way, I've like grown up and I've learned about God, and I've become closer to God and gotten a little bit more religious and things of that nature. And I've just learned about, everybody knows about what everybody should know about the golden rule. I've always tried to treat people with the utmost respect and the utmost dignity, because I never wanted anybody to treat me as if I was less. And I mean, that's just another thing that we have to do as a minority in certain spaces. Like, we have to act not just the best of ourselves, but we have to go above and beyond to be able to pass the eye test, be able to pass those levels of certain things that people want to point out and say that we're not efficient enough in those areas of and those characteristic qualities that you would have in like a business setting or a school setting in some sense. And sometimes you even see those moments when people are getting called out and people are kind of frowned upon in a certain sense. And it's like, dang, man, like, what are they doing wrong compared to what I'm doing and things of that nature? And it's like, I've always gotten by myself. Why can't they get by and things of that nature, man? And it's kind of tough, because you always want to be for your people and you always want to go to bat for your people as well. But when you're making it, or when you don't seem to have it as hard as them in a certain sense, you kind of feel some type of way, because some people aren't going to respect you the same, because they're going to be like, you're not going through the same struggle that I'm going through. Nonetheless, they might not know what's going on at home. They might not know what type of mental issues you're dealing with or things of that nature, or they might not even know that you've been kind of fronting, man, and that you've been playing things off, and that you really literally going through the same type of lifestyle that they're going through. But it just takes experiences and moments of communication with certain people for them to understand how we're all in this thing together, and that we're all fighting from the same type of theories and same type of background, and lack of resources and lack of access to things as well, man. So we always have to go above and beyond, and the way we present ourselves and the way we represent ourselves out in public. And then I mean, but it's not a 24/7 thing. Like, there's a lot of times we can get away with it, and there's a lot of moments where some people just don't care altogether. And then we always have to make sure that we're doing way better than other people in school. Like, I know something that I've always driven me, just because of how competitive I was academically. I always wanted to be at the top of my class, man. But I know a lot of people, if they want to do some of the things that they wanted to do and might not know of alternative options, college was the best thing for them. And the only way they were going to get there is if they perform to the top levels that they could in their classes and things of that nature, man. So it's harder for us to be able to get those scholarships and be able to get those looks at from those universities, from the top schools wherever we want to go, whether that's a PWI or HBCU. And it's interesting to see how many people take the community college route because they weren't able to afford the university route at first, or just because they didn't have the grades, or nobody was able to help them get to the point where they wanted to be at. Because I guarantee you, everybody that goes to community college doesn't necessarily want to go there first. A lot of people have university hopes or four-year college hopes, and it's either money or they just didn't have the grades to make it on that level. And for a minority, a lot of times, the money is like the big thing that happens to a lot of us. It happens to people for them to not be able to go where they want to go and do the things that they want to do. And then a lot of people are kind of swayed away from the ideas of careers that they want to go into and things that they want to major in, because they're not sure if that's something that they can do themselves, because they don't know anybody who does it. They don't have any mentors or just people that they look up to that they're seeing do the same thing that they want to do and things of that nature. But times have changed, and a lot of people are doing different things now, but you're still having those moments, especially in certain towns and parts of states and everything. Is like, it's hard to come back home and see different people doing different things. Like, for me, I've been on a lot of conversations, and people actually like, why did you want to be an engineer? I tell them why, and then they'd be like, did you know any engineers growing up and things like that? I say no, not really, because honestly, I haven't known any engineers or anybody who graduated from school yet. I knew kids who were going to college majoring in engineering or whatever it is that they want to do, but professional engineers, people who've been out in the workplace for at least 5 years, things of that nature. I never knew anybody like that. So I never really had anybody kind of look up to in that right, or try to emulate, or go for questioning and things of that nature, even though I've always had teachers and stuff like that, and I've always had medical people or things of that nature. I've had other people who like been through school and things of that, taking engineering courses, but like I said, nobody professionally, nobody that I had a chance to like look up to and be like, that's gonna be me, man, in like 10 years or like 20 years or whatever. So it's just different. It's harder. And then you have people at school who might not be supporting you at the way they should be, and you have some counselors who aren't even qualified enough to be able to try to help you get through the things that you're trying to get through mentally and strategically when it comes to academics or things of that nature, man. So it's just harder and harder and harder. But like I said, the times are getting better and people are starting to recognize more things. And for me, it's just all about disseminating information, man. It's all about communication. It's all about pushing the barriers and being able to garner more access from a younger age. Like, a lot of people are all about high schoolers, like mainly juniors and seniors, being able to get the same chances. But for me, it's all about middle school kids as well, man, and trying to develop the kids in elementary, like 4th and 5th grade as well, probably 3rd grade too, because I mean, that's where it starts, honestly. That's where those sparks and those ideas get rolling in their people's heads, and they start to get an understanding of what it is that they can do in life and what it is that they want to do in life. And so for me, one of my missions that I'm trying to push really hard is to be able to give back and work with the kids, man, and let them know that, hey, like, we're out here, we're doing our best to show that we can do this for not just ourselves but for everybody included, and that you don't have to go down the same paths that everybody else tries to go down. There are multiple ways to make it in this world. There are multiple ways to be successful, and there are multiple ways to make you yourself proud and your family proud as well. Because not everybody wants to do their thing, and everybody wants to make everybody proud. But when you understand what it is that you want to do, and when you understand that you got to fight for yourself first and foremost, then I think a lot of people's mindsets will start to shift into that higher gear and get into those things that they know that's going to help them progress and move on into life, man. And then, like, especially for minorities, we always seem to have it figured out, our lives figured out by the time we graduate high school or whatnot, or as soon as we get into college, man. Like, no, that's not how the real world works, man. And some of us are already lacking behind on some real world knowledge that should be getting dropped on us in middle school and high school especially, man. Like, there's so many different things that I didn't learn until late in my senior year or in my freshman year of college, and still learning now, that I really wished I would have learned in high school. It would have better prepared me for things. It would have gave me a better perspective. I would have been able to think out things a little bit differently as life has been going on. I'm not saying like I've messed myself up per se, but there's just those little things that everybody needs to know that we need in our toolboxes, so that way when we're walking across that stage, we're not walking into the unknown. And so that's another initiative that I'm really trying to push for, man. Trying to make sure everybody learns everything that they need to know in the broadest sense possible, and then try to be able to connect people with other true professionals and true talented people in college as well, just for different careers and different majors as well, man. So it's always those push and pull kind of factors thing, because I know a lot of people, especially me, I really didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. But I started hinting towards things, in high school, and I was blessed to be able to have certain things happen in my life where I made my decision by the time my senior year started. But a lot of people going to senior year don't even know what they want to do. And a lot of people go into freshman year of college and then sophomore year of college as well, not really knowing what they want to do and not even sure if they want to go to college altogether. But it's just about being able to understand your options and being able to understand that it's honestly quite okay to not know what you want to do, because there's a lot of people who graduate college and they still don't know what they want to do, or they're not comfortable enough in doing whatever it is that they're graduated with that degree on, man. So it's just being able to understand those different barriers and everything, and then knowing that there's options. There's always options. Like, you don't have to go to school. Like, you can go to you don't have to go to college or university per se. You can go to trade school. You can go to community colleges and do these 2-year degree programs and things of that nature. Because a lot of these professions nowadays just want you to have an associate degree or things like that, or a specialist certification and things of that nature. You can look up certain stuff to get certificates on and specialization things on in high school. You can go to the military, like they pay for everything. That's why a lot of people go to the military, and you don't have to be on the front lines. Actually, a lot of people are on the front lines. A lot of people are using it just to go to school and just to learn that trade or that art and that craft that they want to do, and using the military to help navigate them into the right path and be able to pick a great landing spot for them once they're done with their years of service, or however they want to do that route for them. But it's just being able to let people know that they have options and that everybody can make it into where they want to make it, man. So it's all a mindset thing as well, because minorities, we're supposed to be stronger than everybody else, and we're supposed to have it all figured out and everything like that. But a lot of times it doesn't happen that way, and a lot of people get messed up with whatever they have going on in their life, and they shut down mentally early on in high school. And then some people don't make it and they drop out, or after they graduate they just don't have the will or the drive anymore. And we gotta fix that. It starts with us, man. It starts with giving back to everybody and letting people know that we're here for each other. And it starts with love and more positivity, and letting people know whatever it is that you're going through, trust me, somebody else is going through the same thing, but we're all gonna make it. Or I've been through it myself, and let me tell you how I did it or whatnot. I'm not saying you gotta do it the way I did it, but I'm telling you that no matter what you do, no matter how you go about it, you gotta do it the right way, and that you're gonna come back on top of everything after you go through whatever it is that you're going through, man. So I hope that you guys understand that. And I know a lot of you guys who are already minorities and whatever aspect that you already understand that. You already feel how it is, and you just know everything that I'm saying is true, but it's just about being able to give back, being able to talk to other people younger than you, maybe even older than you as well, gaining a different perspectives and things of that nature, man. So it's always about bridging the conversation, keeping communication high, and always spreading love, man. So I hope you guys understand that. I hope you guys want to do that more and have more conversations, because I know I'm going to do that myself. But it takes a village. It always takes a concerted effort. Everybody's got to pitch in here and there, man. So hope you guys doing that. Hope you guys still staying safe out there. Hope you guys are doing y'all thing. Shout out to my people in summer school, man. Hope you guys are doing well, making those A's on those exams and tests, baby. Let's go get it. But like I said, man, hope you guys are just doing your thing and keeping the grind and keeping the hope up as well. So y'all keep doing your thing and y'all keep rocking with me, man. Peace.